Let's do the microphone. All right. Check, 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 check. Let's look at my. Yeah, we are live. All right, so check that. All right, so if you're watching, we are streaming live. And I'm just going to do I got a project I need to edit, so I thought I would just kind of do a semi-tutorial and keeps things a little bit more exciting. I am probably 2 months into doing all my projects with DaVinci Resolve, so we will share just how I'm doing that. I get my streaming software here set up so I can see who is online. There we go. Now I can see my comments and reactions. And some other new things that I've been trying. But let's go with... so we have... Let's pull up DaVinci. I'll show you my widescreen here. All right, so if you're new to DaVinci like I am, here is all right, so here we are. And so what we do here at the Central Arkansas Library System is I'm the content creator and trying to educate and share some of what we do through video online. And I have a coworker. She's our staff writer, and she usually ends up being the creative talent for these. And you can check out bird watching kits here at the library. So where we are in downtown Little Rock, about a block away from us, down by the river, there is a nature facility, and we reached out to them, and they're going to tell us a little bit about all of that and how to use the birdwatching kit. So we thought we'd film that. We did this yesterday, I believe. So I'm going to this is a project that I have that I've done multiple of these kind of topics on. And that way I have a timeline that's set up. I have all my lower thirds. I'll just make another version, and I keep copying and pasting. I could start another timeline, which I've been thinking about doing, but it's just the way I do it, and it's fast. So basically, the interesting thing about DaVinci is you have these little, down here at the bottom, you have a cuts-only editor, you have the editing, you have Fusion, which is your special effects, you have your color grading, then you have Fairlight, which is your audio, which I really like, and then you have this little rocket button is your deliver button, so that you're, encode it to save it out somewhere. So what we're going to do is, hopefully you're hearing all this. Let's see. Go back to my edit window.
My freeway, there's no people involved.
There you go. You heard that. System audio is on. All right. So what we're going to do is I have an open here. You can see it's the same open, same music. So we're just going to zoom in right up here. You can see this zoom in button to make my timeline bigger. And I'm just going to grab my open there and hit. I got my microphone in front of my keyboard. Hold on. We're going to do, beside my keyboard. Let me turn this here. All right. So we're going to do Command copy. I'm going to go over here, start my new project. And did it copy it? It didn't copy it. Paste, there we go. So there's my open that I have. have some music that I usually use. So we'll go back and grab that. There you go. So that is on track here, down here. Apple copy. Alright, so there you can see we've got our little animation. So it's just the logo growing. I actually did that in Canva. And we got our music that I downloaded from Artlist. Then I just put a crossfade because I like to have a little bit of this in the beginning. So now we're just going to import our footage. So hit File, Import, Media. I've already taken it off the camera, so I'm going to go to my big drive here, go to my video projects, birdwatching kit, raw video, go to the clips. I'm just going to bring in all the clips. So Command, let you select just the clips that you want. I don't need the XML files. All right, so let's go find those clips over here in the media. So here's our intro we shot. And we'll listen to this real quick.
Today we took a field trip. We actually took two. First, we stopped by Maine downtown and picked up one of their birdwatching kits. And then we came over to the Whit Stevens Jr. Central Arkansas Nature Center. It is right next door to the Museum of Discovery. I'm gonna have to do this again. All again. Okay.
So you can see we had a couple errors. So we're gonna go to this. All right. So I put my hand in front of the lens there so I knew where I was taking again. Start from there. Right there. I for in.
Today we are taking a little field trip. Actually, we took two. We started out by going to the downtown Maine library branch and picked up one of the birdwatching kits. And then we came over here to where we're at now, the Whit Stevens Jr. Central Arkansas Nature Center. It's right next door to the Museum of Discovery. Today we're going to be talking with Lauren Marshall, one of the experts here, and she's going to talk to us about some birdwatching tips and tricks.
All right, so there's going to go out there, drag it down to the timeline. See how this matches up here.
Today we are taking a little field trip. Actually, we took two. We started out by going to the downtown Maine library branch and picked up one of the birdwatching kits. And then we came over here to where we're at now, the Whit Stevens Jr. Central Arkansas Nature Center. It's right next door to the Museum of Discovery.
All right, so we are going to
on Maine library branch and picked up one of the birdwatching kits. And then we came over.
All right, so if you listen there, I've got actually, let's scale this up here. So this is my audio one track, and it is, because the way the microphone is, I'm using the Rode Wireless Goes, and I don't have a splitter because I'm using one mic, gets two people, so it's actually splitting to each channel. So it's really easy to fix in DaVinci. I'm just going to click on this clip here, or right click, and hit Clip Attributes. Go to Audio, and you see I have an audio track 1 is on the left channel, And I can embed channel 1 is on audio 1, and it's on the left channel. So I'm just going to duplicate channel 1 on the right side. So now we should have stereo.
Today we are taking a little field trip.
There we go.
Actually, we took two. We started out by going to the downtown Maine library branch and picked up one of the birdwatching kits.
All right, so that's pretty cool. I like the music to go maybe a little longer, so I'm just going to drag this out a little bit. Let's see here. It's kind of a feel thing for me, what feels right.
Today we are taking a little field trip. Actually, we took two. We started out by going to the downtown Maine library branch and picked up one of the birdwatching kits.
Okay, we'll stretch that a little bit. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to take off this transition because I'm going to have to manually do a little split here. So that right there is where we want the open to start. I want the audio to drop there. So what I'll do is take my razor tool, and I'm going to cut that clip right. Sam, I'm going to cut it right there. There we go. So now I have a two independent audio track. So if you'll notice when I play it,
today we are.
All right, so we're going to switch back to a little arrow there. And you can hover there till you get your volume. So I'll bring the volume down here.
Today we are taking a little field trip.
Maybe a little lower.
Actually, we took two. We started out by going to the downtown Maine library branch and picked up one of the birdwatching kits.
All right, so I'm going to cut it there. So what we'll do here is we'll use over here we got an audio transition. We'll just do a crossfade. So that will kind of crossfade to come down, and then we'll do a crossfade to -3. Let's see, crossfade to 0 again here on the end. So we'll play that now.
Today we are taking a little field trip. Actually, we took two. We started out by going to the downtown Maine library branch and picked up one of the birdwatching kits. And then we came over here to where we're at now, the Whit Stevens Jr. Central Arkansas Nature Center. It's right next door to the Museum of Discovery. Today we're going to be talking with Lauren Marshall, one of the experts here, and she's going to talk to us about some birdwatching tips and tricks.
All right, so that's that. Let's see. Like I said, I'm still getting used to this from Premiere.
Today we are taking a little field trip. Actually, we took two. We started out by going to the downtown Maine library branch and picked up one of the birdwatching kits. And then we came over here to where we're at now, the Whit Stevens Jr. Central Arkansas Nature Center. It's right next door to the Museum of Discovery. Today we're going to be talking with Lauren Marshall, one of the experts here, and she's going to talk to us about some birdwatching tips and tricks.
All right. So that's good. We've got that part. Now let's go over here. Zoom back in here. This is the only thing that I'm not used to yet is when I zoom in here is up here on this little zoom in button. But I'll get used to it. All right, so let's go get some. Our interview was here. So I started my interview off here.
So, Cal,
and
free for people to chat. What if you don't know what to do with birdwatching?
If you'll watch here.
Yes. So we came to the experts. So Lauren, when somebody who maybe doesn't have any experience with bird watching has some binoculars and wants to see some local birds here in Arkansas, what do you tell them?
Okay, so one of the biggest things, if you don't mind.
All right, you hear I said cut because she was looking, I wasn't thinking about, I'm on my one camera shoot. I was trying to get the light to come in here to you can see how it was lighting Kelly. And she's a little bit backlit. I didn't have a bounce board or a light with me. There was just a lot of light coming in through that window, but I needed to change my camera angle because when she talked, I wanted her to talk to the camera. So I switched it to here.
Okay.
And action. All right, so there's where I say action.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, I'll take those for a second and we'll go over some things. So if you are a beginner in birding, one of the things you want to know.
She didn't make any mistakes. I remember that.
But another one trying to figure out good colors and always good variety.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's always good color. Trying to think of what are their winter birds. Spring birds, they've all moved on or kind of, so if you see, there's just a host of birds down here. So juncos, that's something that's moving right now. Trying to think of what other winter birds are here. But that's the great thing about birding. You can do it year round. You're going to see things throughout the season. So there's always good colors and river. What are some space if you're looking to create something in so putting out feeders be pretty set there.
Perfect. And we also at our Fletcher branch.
No.
Could you tell us just your like?
And you want a fun little viewing area like this one, you can go to the Fletcher branch.
That's great.
Is there anything? But there are some feeders, so if you don't want to go outside and you want a fun little viewing area like this one, you can go to the Fletcher branch.
That's great.
All right, I'm going to cut that right there because I actually interjected something there, so I'm going to just get my out point. I don't have a lot of time to do these videos, so I'm just... Let's look at this. This is kind of real world editing here. This is a little package shoot that I would do normally. It's not, you know, most things on YouTube you're going to see are like drone footage and mini movies and things like that. But this is kind of traditional editing you're going to do a lot of if you work local production, if you're doing news production, or you're just a content creator for an organization like I am here. So I'll show you how to fix a few things here. And let's see. So we got that. Let's go on to where I speak again.
And we'll go over some things. So if you are a beginner in birding, one of the things you want to know is how to adjust.
I appreciate...
Oh, I'm in the wrong clip. So let's go back to the clip here.
Is there anything else that you think we've missed or need to add?
No.
Could you tell us just your like opening times and things like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I'm gonna add that.
So here we are open to the public from Tuesday to Saturday, 8:30 to 4:30. So if anybody has any birding questions or birding needs, you know, definitely drop in. On the 17th, we're going to have our open house, and that day we're actually going to needs, you know, definitely drop in. Definitely drop in.
All right. She did mention an event coming up, but I don't want this piece to be dated, so I'm not going to put that in here. And then she noticed there is some, she stumbled a little bit here and there, but we're going to fix that here just a
kind
second.
of a more fat to get hooked up with something
Here in Central Arkansas.
something like that.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Well, perfect.
Okay, we're going to do the in out here.
All right. Well,
Let's go back it up just a little bit. We'll use your arrow keys to back up in.
well, if you want to check out the birds, look at some of the birds that are here in Central Arkansas, come down to the Witt-Stevens Nature Center, make sure to run by Cal's and grab a bird watching kit. You're going to get this guidebook as well as the binoculars, and you get to keep it for 2 weeks.
All right, that's it. That's the package. So in and out, drop it here. I need to fix this. Well, since we have 2 people here.
See something in the distance and then say, okay, I'm going to look there, or I'm going to look there. So here we are open to the public from Tuesday to Saturday, 8:30 to 4:30. So if anybody has any birding questions or birding needs, you know, definitely drop in.
Well, if you want to check out the birds, look at.
So the split channels can be a hassle here because I would have to cut each time she talks and duplicate the channels from channel 1 to channel 2 and duplicate them just like we did here. I probably won't do that on this one, but in the future I am going to get a splitter that will actually take the receiver and put it into both channels of audio. So that way I would have it would just be muxed into as a stereo feed into the camera. So I'd go from one pin, you know, right now it's just one pin going into the one quarter jack pin, which I don't have it sit here in front of me, or I'd show you. What I'm going to do is it has 2 XLR ports. So what I'll do is I'll get a XLR splitter, put it into the receiver, and so that way I will get left and right channels all the time. I don't have to do this in post. So let's just get to the couple other tricks
Covers
here.
back. Get back. I like to, in the back, it has your indexes. There are
Let's see.
winter birds. Cardinals are everywhere. And so that bright red, those are the male cardinals. Your females are going to be brown. They're going to be less conspicuous. The juvenile males are going to be light brown, so they're not fully colored yet. But those are a lot of fun to see. Our robins, our spring birds, they've all moved on or kind of burrowed down for winter. They're not as common. But another fun thing that we see during the winter here in downtown is hawks. So if you see a large bird kind of swooping or maybe chasing a pigeon or a dove, it's going to be either Cooper's hawk or one of the juvenile hawks, maybe that are moving through and trying to figure out what's what. So that's a fun thing too. Blue jays you might see because they trying to think of what other winter birds are here. But that's the great thing about birding. You can stand out. There's just a host of birds down here. So juncos, that's something that's moving right now. What's what? So that's a fun thing too. Blue jays you might see because they stand out. There's just a host of birds down here. So juncos, that's something that's moving right now. Trying to think of what other winter birds are here. But that's the great thing about birding. You can do it year round right now.
All right, so right there, there's a part where she pauses, and it's just it's not bad. It's just I want to tighten that up a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it here. Then we're going to play that.
Trying to think of what other winter birds are here.
All right, so I took out all of that right there. So we're going to take that out. That's not what I wanted to do. Did you see how it split the whole thing? So we're going to zoom in real quick. I just want to grab this side of the clip and pull it. Then I can delete that space and it'll tighten up here.
Juncos, that's something that's moving right now. But that's the great thing about birding. You can
So you see that little jump cut there. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover that, and that's what is affectionately called B-roll. So I've got some B-roll here I shot of the birds. So I'm just going to take this little section right here. We'll do it in and out. Dun, 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 dun. And out. And we're just going to put it right on top of that clip. All right, so we're just going to cover that little clip there so when she talks.
on here. So juncos, that's something that's moving right now. But that's the great thing about birding. You can do it year round. You're going to see things throughout the season. So there's always good colors and always good variety.
Perfect.
All right, so that's a good
So
example
honestly,
of
this is
what to use B-roll for. B-roll for. So, and I could do fancy transitions. I'm just doing cuts only right now. I usually just use cuts only, but let's just kind of get the framework of this build here. So what we're going to do is we got our open. So we did our open. So we're going to go from this other video here. We're going to grab the close here. We're going to copy that. Paste, and then we're going to come back here and get the audio from this other one because I already had it set up here. Copy that. Paste that. Actually, we're going to draw it this way. Shorten that here. So you can see I line up the music with the cut. We're going to do a little turn up, fade, cross up, so it should come up in volume a little bit.
So here we are open to the public from Tuesday to Saturday, 8:30 to 4:30. So if anybody has any birding questions or birding needs, definitely drop in.
well, if you want to check out.
Birding questions or birding needs.
All right, so what I'll do is I'll put a graphic there about their opening times. That'll cover up that little stick up there. But we have the
Well,
music.
if you want to check out the birds, look at some of the birds that are, grab a bird watching kit. You're going to get this guidebook as well as the binoculars, and you get to keep it for 2 weeks.
All right, so I messed that up completely, so we're going to scroll this back here. There.
Follows the binoculars, and you get to keep it for 2 weeks.
There you go. You see hearing a little hiccup in the sound. That's just the computer.
They have 3.
Every once in a while, I need to save it. I have had a little bit of hiccup problems with this running on my Mac. Just some little things. Sometimes I have to restart to fix
So it's
something
gonna
like
help
that.
keep your lenses safe.
So we'll save it. I'll quit and restart again. But while we're doing that, I can go over here and go to Basecamp. Basecamp, sorry. Canva. And I use Canva for all my graphics. So we actually have her business card that we picked up. So I need to put her lower thirds on there. So I'm going to go down here to this folder I've made for me. And these are all of our lower thirds. I already have one for Kelly. I just keep adding to this file when I make one. That way I have ones to go back to. So we'll just duplicate that. And we're going to make this one. Her name is Lauren, Lauren, Marshall, Marshall. And we're going to put her title, Education Program Specialist. Education Program Specialist at Arkansas Game and Fish. Game and Fish. All right, so that's not going to fit, right? So we're going to drag this all the way out. Well, actually what we're going to do is I highlight this right here. And I'm just going to shrink that. So we need that a little bit smaller. There we go. So we can bring her up here. We're going to increase that. Let's see here. Get that L. There we go. Just keep coming up till it fits there. The biggest we can make it. Then we're going to take the line spacing and make that a little bit smaller. There we go. All right, so let's crunch that up a little bit. There we go. So that's our lower thirds. We're going to export that. We're going to download as a PNG with a transparent background. Here's what I did wrong. So now it's downloading all of those files as a zip file because I didn't do it the way I was supposed to do it, which is something to look out for. Cancel that. So when you go up here, when we share, we want to download. You click all 34, turn that off, and say current page 5. Change that again to an MPEG with a transparent background, and we're going to download that. I'm going to put that in my folder for this project, which is Calv's Video Projects, bird watching. Save it right there. We're going to open up DaVinci again. Open up our project. There we are.
Tricks.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, I'll take those for a second and we'll go over some things.
A little field trip. Actually, tricks.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, I'll...
All right, So what we're going to do is right there where she comes in, we just need to import our media. Go back. There's our lower third. I'm just going to drag it right here. There's Lauren's. Instead of trying to do any fancy animation, excuse me, we're just going to go over here to video transitions. And we're going to go, we can do, sorry. Let's see, we can go split, box, triangle. So one thing I like is you can highlight what you're going to use on, and over here you can actually scrub your wheel and it'll show you what the transitions look like. I don't want to use any of these. Slide right, that's what I've been using, so I will grab slide right and put right on the lower thirds. Sorry.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, I'll
There we go.
take those.
And we'll just do slide left to go out.
About some bird watching tips and tricks.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, I'll take those for a second, and we'll go over some things.
All right. So we got Kelly's. We've already done hers, so we're going to, on these other videos. So there's one. I'm just going to copy that. And put this right there. Didn't work because I didn't do it right. Paste.
Today we are taking a little field trip. Actually, we took two. We started out by going to the downtown Main library branch.
All right, there we go. There's that one. We can bring it down to this level here.
Today we are taking a little field trip. Actually, we took two.
All right.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, I'll take those for your binoculars. So usually on one side, there's a more broad way of adjusting, and then on the other
So
side
most
is
of
a more
this
fine
is
adjustment. So you want
Lauren's audio, so we're going to do what we did earlier and hit clip attributes. And you can see channel 1 is audio 1. We're going to do channel 1 here. Now we should get a better stereo sound.
If you are a beginner in birding, one of the things you want to know is how to adjust your binoculars. So usually on one side there's a more broad way of adjusting, and then on
And I actually
the
think
other side,
that is the wrong. Oh, let's see here. Clip attributes. Let's do channel 2. Channel 2.
if you are a beginner in birding, one
There
of
you
the
go,
things you
'cause
want to
she's channel
know
2.
is how to adjust your to your eyes, because each person has that. You want to be walking and looking at the same time. And another good thing to note is that when you, or I'm going to look there, don't try to walk and go, kind of like see something in the distance and looking at the same time. Another good thing to note is that when you, another good thing to note is that
All right. So since I only had one camera, we can kind of cheat.
when you are looking at something, you want to do it with your feet firmly on the ground. You don't want to be walking and look.
All right, right about there. We'll just change the little bit of a look here. So I'm going to take this clip and we're going to scale it. We're going to zoom it up.
You don't want to be walking and that when you are looking at something, you want to do it with
there we go. Zoomed way too much. But we're going to bring that down. we're going to bring it over and down. All right, so there we have just a little bit of a transition.
Once you've got that done, another good thing to note is that when you are looking at something, you want to do it with your feet firmly on the ground. You don't want to be walking and looking at the same time. So it's good to kind of like see something in the distance and then say, okay, I'm gonna look there, or I'm gonna look.
The library and you know, the Central Arkansas Nature Center.
Yes.
What are some birds that are typical to
All right,
see?
so right there,
Yes.
Kelly's
Off to a great
audio
start.
Excellent.
is on
Yeah.
channel
So
1.
what,
So what I'm going to do is
so
here.
what? Excellent.
Great start.
Excellent.
All right, so we're going to trim that here.
Great start.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So what? So right here, because obviously this is Central Arkansas Library, and you know, the Central Arkansas Nature Center.
Actually, if you look at the waveform here, you can see this low peak right here. So we're going to use the waveform editor. We're just going to go here and cut this part where she speaks. Then we're going to right click on that again, right click, clip attributes. We're going to put those to channel 1 because that was Kelly's microphone, is channel 1. Now we should hear.
Guide to use. So y'all are off to a great start.
Excellent. So what? So right
There
here,
we
because
go.
obviously this is Central Arkansas Library, and then you know the Central
Let me
Arkansas
look for
Nature
any other
Center.
dead
What are
spots in
some
the
birds
audio.
that?
Because Kelly mostly didn't talk.
What are some other places in Central Arkansas?
She did there.
What are
so-
some other places in Central Arkansas that off of the river, them down here? Really great. You guys, obviously, this.
Variety. Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to cut that to here.
Off of the river. What are some other places in Central Arkansas that
Cut there. Right click. Click attributes. Channel 1 and channel 1.
So there's always good colors and always good variety.
Perfect. So obviously, this is really great. You guys have it set up with the bird seed, and we're just attracting them down here. Also, just off of the river, trying to get into.
No animal's going to be anywhere by accident. They're all looking for certain things. They're all looking for food, water. So here we're adding, but pretty set there.
Perfect. And we also, at our Fletcher branch, there is a small bird watching area.
But pretty set there.
All right, same thing with here. Just got to highlight channel 1.
Perfect. And we also, at our Fletcher branch, there is a small bird watching area like this.
So here we are.
At our Fletcher branch, there is a small bird watching area like this.
So here we are open to the public from Tuesday to Saturday.
All right, so I clipped that really short, so something happened there. So I'm going to move this out, drag this here.
Small bird watching area like this in the back corner. It's in the back corner that is where it's.
All right, so I guess I cut that a lot. So I'm going to drag this out, see where that stops.
That is, it's still being worked on, but there are some feeders. So if you don't want to go outside and you want a fun little viewing area like this one, you can go to the Fletcher branch.
All right, now we're going to delete.
So here we are. So here we.
Like this one, you can go to the Fletcher branch.
So
So I will, let's see, we have the Fletcher branch. Let's do same B-roll, just use the same B-roll. All right, let's see. Same B-roll, we'll just cover it.
What are some birds that
No animal's going to be anywhere by accident.
to get into birding
So
for somebody who would be good for somebody who's at the river? What are some other places?
no animal's going to be anywhere by accident. There's plenty of space around us and bushes, so that's going to provide the shelter.
Where are we?
Perfect.
So here we
That is, it's still being worked on, but
So we're going to do that right here.
there are
Put that right up for that cut right there. See that? So we're going to...
side, and you want a fun little viewing area like this one, you can go to the Fletcher branch.
so here we are open to the public from Tuesday to Saturday, 8:30 to 4:30.
Tuesday to Saturday. So Tuesday to Saturday. What'd she say?
So if anybody has any birding questions, so if anybody has any, 4:30, 30 to 4:30, 8:30 to 4, Saturday, 8:30 to 4:30.
8:30 to 4:30. All right, so now I got to make a graphic for that. So really quick, the easiest way to make a graphic is, let's go to the website. So this is the Whit Stevens. Stevens Jr. Nature Center. There we go. So a lot of times what I'll do is we can just go in here and see about hours of operation. There it is. There's a facility brochure. Let's see if they have a graphic there that they use. So nothing really there. So what we're going to do is we're going to, let's go to their website again. See if we can find some pictures. Well, there's Lauren right there. All right, so we got to make a graphic here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use capture. I'm going to capture this here to there to about there, and I'm just going to capture that. So we're going to capture a screenshot. All right, so now we're going to go back to Canva, and this is actually a frame for 1920 by 1080, so I could use this. See if I have any other templates here. There's a video graphic. That's a square page. I use this one. So we're just going to add another page. We're going to upload the screen grab that I just did. All right, so we're going to scale this up because we want it to be 1920 by 1080. Now we get to have some fun. So we need to cover up some of this stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to match this. I'm going to go to Elements. I'm going to grab a square, and I'm going to cover this here to there. And on my color, I'm going to use the eyedropper, pick the same green, and we will do it like that. Actually, what we'll do is we'll do this. We're going to go right to there, all the way over here, cover that up, send back. I got that little piece there. All right. So we're going to do another one. I'm going to copy and paste. Depth 2. It's all the same color, so you don't really see those blocks, right? So let's come up just a little bit on that. There's a little bit of a faint line there, so we could probably cover all of this up. All right, so we go hours of operation. We have a specific font we use here, but I don't guess we should have to use it on this because it's their brand. But we are going to do hours. Do that in the same cream color. Because it's not really white, so match that. Hours, there we go. Hours. We're going to center that up here. $8:30, no, Monday, Tuesday, what did we say? Tuesday through Saturday, 8:30. To 4:30 p.m. P period M period. Let's go back and put AM. A period M period AM. A little bit of space in between those there. All right, so we can drag those lines together just a little bit. Let's do all of it. So click this whole thing. There we go. So there we go. There's our graphic. It says that's center, but I think that's pretty good right there. Good enough for me, good enough for everybody. Hours. Let's put a colon here. Saturday, spell Saturday right. And let's make sure, like I said, that we have this pretty centered. There are centered guides on here. Now it's saying that's centered, but because we've got a lot of graphics here, we've got that line, visually I want it to come over a little bit. I can actually cut that black out of there. Scale that up just a little bit and over. There we go. So now we have our graphic. So we're just going to take that. That was really quick. Didn't take us very long. All right. So we're going to download. Same thing. Let's do it. PNG. No transparent background is needed. Same thing again. I downloaded the whole file, not just the one I needed. So we'll wait till this happens and we cancel. Cancel. All right. Share. I do this every day and I always forget to do it. So download. Not that. We just want the current page. We don't want a video. We want PNG. And we're going to download it. We're going to put it there in our same folder. Come back to right there. So we're going to put that media, import media. Put it right next to there. There we go.
Fletcher branch.
So here we are open to the public from Tuesday to Saturday, 8:30 to 4:30. So if anybody has any birding questions or birding needs, definitely drop in.
Well, if
Let's say
So
that.
if anybody has any birding questions or birding needs, definitely drop in.
Well, if you want to check out the birds, look at some of the birds that are here in Central Arkansas, come down to the Whit-Stevens Nature Center, make sure to run by Cal's and grab a bird watching kit. You're going to get this guidebook as well as the binoculars, and you get to keep it for 2 weeks.
All right. Music screwed up there, so we're going to fix that. It looks like when I slid everything down, I covered up my end graphics. So let's go back to here, which is the same as the open. I just made it easy on myself. And paste. Gonna line up this audio again, so we want that sound to peak right where it ends. And we want this sound to come all the way to there. So let's look at it now.
Less exciting, but pretty set there.
Perfect. And we also, at our Fletcher branch, there is a small bird watching area like this in the back corner it's still being worked on, but there are some feeders. So if you don't want to go outside and you want a fun little viewing area like this one, you can go to the Fletcher branch.
So here we are open to the public from Tuesday to Saturday, 8:30 to 4:30. So if anybody has any birding questions or birding needs, definitely drop in.
Well, if you want to check out the birds, look at some of the birds that are here in Central Arkansas, come down to the Whit-Stevens Nature Center, make sure to run by Cal's and grab a bird watching kit. You're going to get this guidebook as well as binoculars, and you get to keep it for 2 weeks.
All right, so I'm gonna check this audio here. That's what I thought.
You want to check out the birds.
All right, as you see, it's starting to drift a little bit, but that's just the software, the computer. My hard drive is a little too slow for what I'm doing. I have a 16 terabyte. Even though it's a USB-C drive, it's a manual, or it's not an SSD drive, so it kind of lags a little bit. So we're going to save what we've done here. Let's see, save. Now what we can do too is we'll go back here and I'll tweak it some more, but we'll go through here. This is the other project. There we go. So just as an example, we're going to go into the Color Studio and we're going to try to fix this up a little bit. So it's a little dull. I want to bump my contrast up just a little bit. Just a little bit. And bring my highlights down a little bit. I think my color is fine. My pivot point. Hue, saturation, I like all that. Mid detail, maybe I can bring up some mid. Not seeing a lot in the mid detail. So as you can see there, a little bit better. So we can copy that. We can copy. Edit, copy. Then on all of these, I can do a paste. Attribute, or no, edit, paste attributes, and I'm going to say all my color correction. Hit apply, and we see a little bit of color correction in there. All right, apply. It's in there. All right, we're almost done here. Paste attributes, apply. I tried yesterday to just copy them all and hit paste all, but it just didn't work right. So I just do them one at a time now. All right, so there's the coloration done. Let's go back to the edit. We will shrink this a little bit. We can watch it. See if what errors we have. All right, so here we go. Let's play it.
Today we are taking a little field trip. Actually, we took two. We started out by going to the downtown Maine library branch and picked up one of the birdwatching kits. And then we came over here to where we're at now, the Whit Stevens Jr. Central Arkansas Nature Center. It's right next door to the Museum of Discovery. Today we're going to be talking with Lauren Marshall, one of the experts here, and she's going to talk to us about some birdwatching tips and tricks.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, I'll take those for a second.
I think that's most of it. So you can see real quick, we put together this video a little slower than I'm used to usually doing because I am new to DaVinci and I'm trying to give a tutorial at the same time. So we could go in there, we could do some more cuts, we could scale some more things in, you know, I could get really fancy, but this is pretty simple. It's just on our YouTube channel. It's going to go out into a newsletter. So I'm pretty happy with it. I will tweak it some more, make sure there's no hums and ahs in between all the recordings, but we'll test it out and then kind of step back from it for a little while and then watch it again before I upload it to YouTube. So thank you for watching. If I could help you in any way, if you're trying to learn DaVinci or Canva, I'm using a lot of these tools to make content every day, and follow me here. And randomly, I'll go live here at work. You know, my day job is a content creator at the public library here in Little Rock, Arkansas. So I have to sit here all day and edit like this. Then I'm going to stream it and share it so everybody can watch. I also have my own podcast and some other things going on, so stay tuned. And please subscribe. All right, well, we'll check you out later.